Hi, Mom.
Okay, so thanks. This is a Zoom event, but okay.
I'll get out of your way. Just checking to see where the cat is.
So the texture I found is my mom. Okay, so there's a lot of weird stuff going on here. I'm just gonna send an apology right now out into the ether, because anybody who watches this like later, when this is posted online, is number one going to see that, and number two going to be like, is this girl just sitting there dyeing her hair on this video? And the answer is yes. So I'm going to leave that out there. So I found two textures. One I'm going to try to send in the chat. I think I can just drag this in here. Did that work? Yes, it's sending. Can everyone click it? I posted this earlier today.
Yeah, that's not okay.
Are we having technical difficulties?
Oh, yeah. I saw that. I love it. What is it?
So this is, yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is I was eating a chocolate covered strawberry today, and this is a chunk of the chocolate that fell off as I was eating. And I thought, sorry?
It's like printmaking.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool and really intriguing. And one of the things that I really liked about the homework behind this Maker's Night was just the awareness that it does make you pay attention to your surroundings. And so I was kind of like eating, and I was also very sad and very frustrated from this long story about my Instagram account being deactivated, and it's nothing I need to get into right now. But it was so funny because like I was there, like, as you do, eating chocolate to make yourself feel better. And then this like texture fell off, and I was like, oh, and like had this like nice little like moment of like focusing on my surroundings and having awareness. The other one that I have, and I'm digging through a bag of hazelnuts right now. When Charlotte and I were first discussing this event in the gallery, I was thinking of eating hazelnuts, and I was like, Charlotte, look how cool this hazelnut looks. And then we were like, oh yeah, we were like examining it, and Charlotte was like, well, there's your texture. And I was like, found it. And it's so, I don't know if we can see, probably too dark. Too dark?
Oh, look at all the ridges on that.
Yeah, it's almost like, I wish I could find like a really good one in this bag of hazelnuts right now, but like they're almost like, they remind me of like tree things or something like that. So I don't know, they're just really beautiful. Next time everyone is eating hazelnuts, just pay attention to the texture, because they're quite stunning little things. So that's mine.
Evelyn's up next.
Yeah, I've got this wonderful sunflower head from my aunt, and we're drying it out to then maybe roast the seeds, but just beautiful, just that spiral that happens naturally, and even the fluff. So that's what attracted me to that.
Oh, that's so cool. Beautiful and functional. All right. Does anyone else have a texture?
My texture is a cop-out, and because everything I've been doing for probably months has been very digital, mostly with work, but even for like the painting I've been doing has been digital. So I've been playing with a lot of like apps and downloading brushes and finding fun, juicy textures in that way. And I don't know if it's gonna be able to demonstrate it all, but there's a texture I've been obsessed with on my iPad. Oh no, are you gonna be able to see any of this? Oh yeah, you can. And so it's kind of like a watercolor and kind of like chalky, but then as you press it, it kind of like separates, and you can really make these nice kind of like flowy patterns with it. And so part of me, this is the only time I like using messy materials, because usually I like keeping things kind of clean and like very fine lines and none of this like fading. Yes, I see, but I do like doing it digitally because it's super clean and super easy to undo mistakes, and I feel like it's a new discovery of texture for me. So I'm
That's
just like
perfect.
starting this journey, I think. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Is that the gouache brush or is it a different brush?
It's actually, it's called, what is it called? It's called Old Beach.
Oh, neat.
And it's just like, this is not like a newly downloaded brush. This is just like a default Procreate brush called Old Beach. And I think it's supposed to look like sand or like wet, gritty sand maybe. But it's been the most sort of reactive brush. There's ones you can download that say, oh, it acts just like watercolor, but none of them truly do. So.
Awesome. Okay. All right. Do we want to just, yeah, everyone just play with drawing or whatever they're doing with their textures, and I will attempt to share my screen. Let's see.
Let me
where
see.
I went.
I have to
So
make you a co-host.
Okay. So I can show you folks what I've been working on. I uploaded.
You got them uploaded there?
Yeah, I uploaded a bunch of stuff tonight as well to add to the folder, but I'm not sure if it's going to show up there. Oh, there. No. Yeah.
Now, when you share your screen, Karen, the best bet for everybody else, myself included, is to just stop your video if you're able to. It might make the connection a little bit better just while you're sharing your screen.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. Share screen.
Just choose there. There you go.
Thank you, my tech support.
That's what I do.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. Awesome. All right. This is a new thing to me. I'm very new to these Zoom calls and. Okay. Will this open?
Yes.
Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. Can everybody see that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So these are textures and other images that we found really inspiring, like in the woods. Actually, this photo in particular was taken in St. John's in the Munn Botanical Garden, but most of them were taken like in Labrador or Burgeo or the Codroy Valley. I think this one is in Labrador, so you can see the Labrador tea here, which we love, bake apple leaf. And there's some blackberry, yeah, yeah. Peter,
crowberries.
Yeah, Peter grew up calling them blackberries, but they're also called crowberries.
All right, can I please interject and say that crowberry jam is the most incredible thing you'll ever taste as well?
Yeah,
Crowberries
yes, it's great in pie too, blackberry pie.
Okay, so this photo is taken at Lantijabal, which is right next to Capstan Island. This is Lantijabal is where Peter's grandfather was born and grew up. And the rock here, this is directly on the shoreline, so right next to the ocean. And the ocean has worn this rock smooth. Like if you touch it, it's almost like silk. It's incredibly smooth. I'll probably go through these quickly because we don't have a lot of time. Oh,
Here's rock.
this is Peter's rock. I'll let Peter tell you about this one. So this is one of those textures that holds like deep memories for us and memories of home.
Well, this is where there's actually trees all around this rock, and there's like a little landing up on the top, and basically that was our fort growing up. And well, I'd say even my nephews and stuff played on it. So, you know, it's been played on for at least 30, 40 years.
Yeah, close up of that. And everyone's still good seeing everything?
Oh yeah.
I don't want to go too fast just in case it lags or something, but I don't know if I can get this. Can I get this like full screen or? Oh, there we go. That's better. I really want to zoom in here because this is just, the striation in this rock are awesome. And this was just a boulder that fell off the cliff onto the old highway.
Yeah.
This is on the old highway going to Red Bay. In Labrador, sorry. So as you can see, I really like peeling scuffed paint. This is a Cometic in Labrador with a wood box on top.
I love that.
And you can, when you drive up the Labrador coast, you see so many of these on the side of the road, just where, because people just, you know, they take them to go cut wood, or they take them when they go moose hunting, or it's really, really a versatile tool. I could lots of photos of that one because I just love the color. Oh,
There you go.
These are my zucchini that I grew in the garden. There you go, Sean.
Yeah.
Now this is in Burgeo at Sandbanks Provincial Park. This is one of the beaches. This is called Western Beach. There's an area of Western Beach where the freshwater meets the ocean and it kind of flows back and forth. And it creates this carving in the sand. And every time I go back there, it's slightly different, but it's this really lacy pattern, almost like frost in a window. And it's one of my favorite places to visit. It's amazing how nature does this. It's like the water's a printmaker and a carver. Some beach grass. I probably don't need to narrate these.
Sure you do.
This was, I don't even know what this was, like a
That's
knot.
still it on the floor of the truck.
Yeah, this is I think it was a knot from a tree, but I found it just kind of sitting on the ground.
Karen, did you take these just with your phone? Because some of these shots are like incredible.
Yeah, I just took them with my phone. A lot of them I took with my older phone, which was
Galaxy A8.
yeah, Galaxy A8, and then I got the S20, and it's got a setting in the camera where you can have I think it's 64 megapixels, so it's super high quality. So yeah, these were just snaps.
Yeah, I mean, you could print these. They're beautiful.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was looking for when I was looking for a new phone. I wanted to be sure that I could print them to blow them up at least 8.5 or 11 by 14.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool.
More
Yeah,
flaky paint.
more flaky paint. I love that flaky paint.
Right? When we were in Paris for our honeymoon, the building that we stayed in, it was a for rent by owner type situation.
Mhm.
And the door was this turquoise flaky paint, and I loved it. I took pictures of that door. I have to find them just so I can show people, but they so amazing. I love that door.
I'd love to see that. Definitely share it with us later. Or you
Yeah, I
can
had to
also-
look it up because I think it's on my old computer. Like this was 12 years ago now. So I'm not sure where they are, but I have them somewhere.
Flaky paint is awesome. And this one is just, I just took this photo. This is in my wheelbarrow in front of the door.
That was last week.
Yeah, this was last week. We had a couple nights of heavy frost and the water just froze in my wheelbarrow. So I was actually using this. I was playing around with this to make ephemeral print with printmaking. So I was pressing my hand, just touching my hand to the ice to see if it would make a print or if it would just make a print and then melt, that sort of thing. That was part of one of my courses for school. Actually, we've been working on this texture collecting all summer. And then when I started classes in September, my first few assignments for my print class and my drawing class ended up being collect textures, take rubbings of the textures you find and take photos of the things you find. And of course, that was right up my alley because we've been doing this for months now. This is in our backyard. And I just like the contrast of the smooth sky and then the trees and then the mottled sunshine on the grass. And these are kind of always interesting photos to try to translate into a painting or a drawing. This
What's
is
that one? That's coffee table.
This is our coffee table. This is our toddler's attempts at printmaking with a
Hammer.
toy hammer.
I thought he had been chewing on it.
I wouldn't put that past him either. This is cornstarch and water dropped on the deck outside. This was a byproduct of a project that I was doing for printmaking course. I was making magic mud and doing ephemeral prints with that. But I like the way that this turned out when when I looked.
We used to call that oobleck.
Oobleck, yeah, I've heard it called oobleck and goop, and it's fun. It's really fun to play with. These were scratches caused during the winter by studded tires
And a stuffed car.
and a stuffed car. So printmaking isn't just ink and a plate. It can be a car in the driveway. Okay, so here I uploaded these earlier today. These are some of the rubbings that I took from different things around the house. This was from a jewelry box. It's from one of my plants, a big parlor palm. I'm really drawn to this one. This was from one of the pots that my houseplant is in, one of my houseplants. And to me, it looks like fish scales or chain link fence. Now, this was a photo that I edited to make it look sketchy. I do this sometimes so that I can see the textures and see how I can sort of translate them into a painting or a drawing. So this is where technology comes in handy in editing programs, because you can map out areas where you want color, areas where you want light and shadow, and areas where you want heavier textures, like up here, down here in the water. This is Peter's father's boat in Capstan Island. I think
That's
that's it. How do I stop sharing my screen?
Up top. Red button.
Yeah, there should be a little red. Cool.
Okay, there we go. All right.
Those were awesome. Thank you.
Oh, not a problem.
Yeah, those are really
So-
cool.
We do have a sample of the digital interactive collage that we've been working on. So if you folks are up for it, we'd like to roll it out to you and see what you think. We've been testing this with friends and family. We started off with just like open source images like cartoon cows and fish. And then, then we plugged in pieces of photos that we took and pieces of paintings that I've done. Now, where is the, okay, so do I just type in that? Okay, I'll type that into the chat.
We might have to go and put my phone in there.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
I'm just loading it up now. It's taking a little while.
How to, so I don't actually have a website at the moment, but we do have a server in the shed. So this link is going to look a little bit weird. Just let me know. Just click on it and let me know if it works for you. And the elements might not load right away.
Something's loading.
The title
If just a
loaded?
couple pieces. Well, that's good. If just a couple pieces load up, then try to drag one of the elements, and sometimes that'll help pop up the other elements.
I might just go plug my phone in there and use that for the internet.
Okay.
Right there. Just
All right. We'll see if we can boost it.
Still loading for me. It's trying.
Yeah, you can tell it's trying. The little circle spinning away.
It's also possible.
Yeah, Peter's
that,
gone.
Sorry.
Sorry?
No, I was going to say it's also possible that like everybody trying to access it all at once could be slowing it down maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's
I closed
possible.
it. I'm going to try it again
Unplug
after
phone.
somebody else finds it.
Okay.
Because that little circle is working way harder than I am right now.
Karen, I just wanted to add that I really love that idea of the ocean and elements being their own printmakers. Yeah, I love that. And that's something that's crossed my mind before, but maybe, I don't know, maybe not so explicitly, but I feel like, do you know what I mean? Like I pick up when the waves like move shit around or something. I probably shouldn't say shit. When the waves like move
We've
things.
all heard it before. It's fine.
Children that's watching later. Or even like I love seeing the shape of my body pressed on the grass, or I love worn out stairs. The stairs in my house in particular, like the wood is how do I say this? Like thinned, so that's there's a dip in the middle from 120 years of people walking up and down it. I've kind of veered off from the ocean, but it all still feels natural, like natural forms of printmaking, you know, or prints being made.
Absolutely. That's something that we were talking about in my printmaking class. Andrew Testa is my instructor, and he's kind of like, we're talking about different ways of printmaking. Like we were saying, it's not just ink and a plate. It can be totally natural. It can be, you know, like the water and the sand. It can be tires on the driveway, that sort of thing. And there's so many different ways of printmaking. And just taking these classes, it's so interesting, just me going back to school like this, because it's really kind of jump starting my own practice over again. It's putting things into different perspectives. I can see different ways of doing things, and really gets me thinking about how I can expand my own practice, and even just the textures, just different ways of finding textures and exploring them.
Yeah, making use of what you can find.
Absolutely.
Even my favorite is when the leaves stain the sidewalk, and then there's all these different shades of browns layering, and some are much more translucent. What time of year is that? Is that late fall, or is that must be late fall?
Yeah, I'd say it's probably another month at least.
I mean, it is kind of happening now. I noticed walking home from the grocery store the other day, there's like leaves falling, piles of leaves on the side of the sidewalk. Like it's happening quickly for sure.
Yeah, but the stains aren't here yet. Did you notice the stains?
I didn't. I know exactly what you're talking about, but yeah, I don't think I've seen it recently. Oh, the website, it's prompting me for my name. Is that normal, Karen?
Sorry?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
it is.
yeah.
It was something I was playing with, but it didn't work. But you can just type in anything.
Oh, no, I'm fully interacting. This is cool.
Okay, I think most of my, oh, there we go. Okay.
If it doesn't load up right away, just refresh the page. It should come in a bit quicker.
Do you want me to screen share maybe? Because I think it's working on my end.
Get in yet.
It's working on my end.
I think screen sharing is probably the best bet for everybody to see.
Oh, that is cool.
So
Yeah.
the download button will actually download a copy of your image,
If you
but
what?
it
Sorry?
also uploads it to our server as well.
Cool.
So as people download, we get a copy of what they've done. And if you click on the link for View Gallery, you can see what other people have done with it, right?
Ah,
See what others have created. Yeah, I want to see that.
Karen, that's all of you there.
Yeah, this is just a sample. So the larger project, it'll be just like this, but there will be audio in the background. So it'll be like running water, like a river, like Pinware River in Labrador, or the ocean, the beach at Burgeo, something like that, or the rain. We've been having some trouble with getting good quality recordings of running
Audio
water.
recordings, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of feedback sometimes, and static, not static, but you know, that rushy
White
sound when you're trying to record water.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a bit of mixing, sound mixing to be done there, but we're using this big, was it Blue?
Blue Yeti?
Yeah, it's a Blue Yeti microphone. And I have, in order to cut down on the popping sounds, I have this old skin from, I think, a mink or something.
I think it's a mink.
From
maybe.
Labrador. That was trapped by Peter's uncle.
Cool.
So we just popped that on over the phone because it to cut down on that popping sound.
As
when
like
we're
a
recording.
windshield or something like that, yeah.
Yeah. I think in audio mixing, in the professional world, I think it's called a dead cat is one of the nicknames for it. But it's just fur or fake fur just put over the microphone, so there's not as much feedback and popping when you're speaking or singing or recording higher pitched sounds.
I'm looking through the gallery. Some of these are really, really cool. So do you think, are you going to be implementing like different options for the backgrounds from your photographs, or like maybe different ways to cut shapes and things like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, eventually it's going to be, I think it's going to be several different pages. So you can pick and choose your, like, it's kind of like a choose your adventure thing. So if you want to go to the beach, you go to the beach with the beach elements. And if you want to go into the forest, you go to the forest with all the forest elements.
We should do like a dinner table.
How you,
and a bunch of
I don't
stuff.
know how you guys are sleeping. It's you've got so many options. Like how do you lie in bed and not want to just get up and do more? Like so much there.
Well, he
Rachel.
falls asleep as soon as his head hits the pillow.
Yeah.
I don't
Man
sleep
after my
much. I
own
think
heart.
about all this stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Sean's like, how do you sleep at night, Karen? And Karen's like, I don't.
I don't.
This is really cool. And I love hearing about your plans to expand it. Yeah, there's so many different avenues that you could take with this. And it's really exciting just to see this, work in progress.
Mm-hmm.
It might be something that we eventually apply for a grant from one of the arts councils for, because just to be able to have the time and everything to dedicate to working on the project. But I thought it would be something nice. Everybody's kind of isolated now. Let's just play with the collage together.
Yeah, it's really fun.
I'll update you as we go along so you can test it out.
Yeah, please do. And
How's it doing with their... Oh, sorry?
no,
Go ahead.
you go on.
How's everyone doing with their drawings? They coming along? Are you having fun?
They're doing it.
Thumbs up from Evelyn. Awesome. Does anybody have any questions? I think we better close the window.
No.
Is anybody
it's
else
too
hearing
warm.
the wind, or
No.
is it okay? No?
Oh,
When do you
24 degrees in here.
Oh, sorry. When do you start noticing texture? When obviously this is such a big center of your art practice now. Was it always like that, or?
For me, it's been kind of all my life, because I've got some sensory issues around textures. There are some textures that just, if I touch it, it just makes me feel really sick to my stomach, like cardboard or construction paper, certain types of fabrics. The old hard corduroy pants.
You ever
I
feel those
couldn't wear them
blankets
when I
at
was a
Walmart sometimes where they let you know if your hands are too dry? Those, you touch it and you're just like, oh, that looks soft. And then you're like, oh, ooh, ooh, ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are, I can't touch those.
No. And
It's that
they get me every time. Every time. I shouldn't touch them, but I do. And then I hate myself.
I think everyone has some sort of touch thing that kind of throws them off, like touching chalk or those weird blankets. Or
Karen, I just sent you my downloaded collage. It's in the chat if you want to have a look at it. Or you can just go to the gallery. I checked your gallery and it updates like automatically, which is cool.
yeah, it's pretty quick. We like that. That's all thanks to Peter. Oh, this is nice. I like how you used the aloe as sort of like a sun or a moon there.
Yeah, it's really
There
pretty.
it is on our phone.
All the
Yeah, we really enjoyed this. But yeah, I've been noticing texture for pretty much all my life, but it wasn't really, I guess, until this summer and this project that I really started noticing things that I didn't really look at before. I mean, I always like rock, but things like the driveway or scratches in wood, like I didn't really pay a whole lot of attention to it other than to notice it and say, oh, that's neat, or something like that. But now I just want to document it to everything I see and touch.
There's more new ones.
And even the textures I see that are a stressor for me, make me feel really uncomfortable, I still want to touch it because I want that tactile experience. It's kind of odd maybe, but
That makes
like
sense.
I don't want to feel sick to my stomach, but or I don't want to feel like that pain, but I still want to touch it to have that experience, just to know what it feels like. And that all comes out in my artwork. Usually my watercolor paintings, it comes out really light and pastel and somewhat unnoticeable, but it gets in there. Sometimes I'm not even thinking about it when I'm painting, but there's a lot of texture in my paintings.
Cool.
Oh, there's some really neat collages popping up here. We're watching them in real time here pop up in the gallery, and it's great.
Seems like some people aren't getting all the.
Maybe not getting all the elements. If
Yeah.
you try, if it doesn't load right away, try dragging a couple of the little stones, and sometimes that'll pop up the rest of them.
Like for some, there's just
Mine were
stones.
kind of like,
Mhm.
You don't have.
yeah, mine were kind of like speckling, popping in for a minute, just kind of
Yeah.
loading in,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah, we're working on that. We may have to invest in a faster server or however that works. I don't know how that works, Peter's
We
the
just
tech
need
guy.
to have it so it's not coming from the shed.
And I mean,
There's a computer
there
in the corner of the shed. Well, it's coming from.
that's funny. You can do websites and stuff for free too, which I'm sure would be like, my website was free for years, and then I was like, oh, fine, I'll buy the domain or whatever, but it works perfectly fine as a free website as well. So this would be really cool.
That'll be the next step for sure. We just wanted to roll it out and test it and make sure that everything's working, and then we can start working on the whole website. It will be a website eventually.
Mm-hmm. It's super cool.
Thank you. So yeah, if there's any other questions, don't be shy.
What have been some
So
of
Sean,
the...
we're done our residency.
Yeah, this is sad.
Yeah. Our last letters, well, it's not going to be our last letters.
No,
They just
they're
won't
not
be public.
letters. Yeah, no, it's been wonderful sharing.
It's been great. It's been very fun. Sorry, Daniel, you had a question or a comment and I interrupted you.
It didn't really have much to do with the residency at all. It was just like, what kind of projects have you been doing so far in school?
Oh, well, for print and drawing, it's basically been exactly what I'm doing over the summer. We've been asked to go out and take photos and take rubbings and try different. There was a project called Find Prints, Make Prints.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to find unconventional printmaking. So that was where the driveway photo came from.
Mm-hmm.
And make prints, like that was the ice in the wheelbarrow and playing with the cornstarch and water, trying to get that. Because you know how if it's mixed a certain way, you squeeze it and it becomes solid, and then you let go and immediately it goes back to liquid. So I really like that as an example of a print that doesn't stay. It's not permanent, it just goes away.
Mm-hmm. I really like things
What
that
else?
feel ephemeral or look ephemeral, like you're saying.
Yeah. What else? I think that's it so far. Right now we're working on and it's funny because the second project for my drawing class is texture translation. So when I read the project, I was like, I got this. I can do this. I've been doing this. So that was
You're ahead of
fun.
the game.
But it made me think about the textures and translating them in a totally different way, because they've been showing us some examples of other artists who do this kind of work. And frottage is the term for like the graphite rubbings. And it's Max Ernst is one of the artists. Got a bunch of them written down somewhere, but they're definitely worth checking out. If you Google frottage artist, it's really, really neat, the kind of work they create.
And soon, in a couple
Oh, you're
years,
welcome.
people.
Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah.
Joanne said, thanks for sharing everything. It's great. Take care, everyone.
See you, Joanne.
Thank you so much.
Karen, I was just saying, in a couple years now, when people Google that same thing, they'll see Karen and Pink show up in all these images.
Yeah, maybe. That'll be fun. I like this kind of work. It's really interesting. It just puts a whole different element to my watercolor paintings now, because I can incorporate some of this into my paintings. Anyone have any other questions? No, everyone's good.
I think with the
Everyone's just
rubbing,
working away.
yeah, you just don't, there's so much freedom and there's so little pressure on you, because it is all experimenting. You don't know which ones are going to grab you and which ones are not going to do anything. And and then it's almost like they make themselves, like they present themselves, and then it's okay, where do I take this now? How do I, as you said, incorporating that into your watercolors? There's going to be so much like actual texture in them. So I think it's pretty exciting without the pressure. You know, it's just play. It's just play.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's so many objects that when you start to make the rubbing, I think this is going to turn out great. It's going to make a really nice pattern, but then nothing comes out on the paper at all. It's just a chalk pastel and a big black line. So it's interesting to try to see how that works, how it comes out in the paper. Some of them just didn't work for me, and some made fantastic patterns.
And then those ones that don't work are going to make incredible collages, I think, because you need that kind of heavy nothing in parts of it. So keep them all. Yeah.
I will, because, waste not, want not, right? It's kind of like what you do, Sean, with your work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are we over time?
No. That's not what this is. I'm just saying we can stop the recording unless you wanted to add something. But people are welcome to stay and make and chat all they want. But do you feel comfortable ending the recording soon?
Yeah. I think we're good for the artist talk.